Sun in Gemini with Taurus moon and Virgo rising. This set of placements puts the Sun and Moon near the top of your chart, indicating strong tendencies for notoriety and charisma. So in other words, you likely have a strong public profile. People notice you, you get attention a lot, whether you seek it out or not, and you're likely pretty good at handling this attention. You're familiar with how to deal with that and how to have a strong reputation. In fact, you seem to thrive in public spaces and public roles. Here, Mercury is both the chart ruler as well as the ruler of the Sun, while Venus rules the Moon. So in other words, both Mercury and Venus are strong here. This makes you sharp, intellectual, and fact-oriented, and your chart radiates with what I call dinner party energy. So in other words, you are fun but smart, and this is what happens when you combine Mercury and Venus together. Venus makes things fun and enjoyable and pleasant and kind of refines things, smooths out the edges a little bit, but Mercury makes things more poignant and pointed and analytical. So you are, in other words, analytical but easy to be around. This combination makes you a smooth talker and all around an excellent communicator. The signs of Gemini and Taurus complement each other well here. Because your moon is exalted, you have a strong, steady core identity. However, the Gemini Sun here adds a desire and openness for variety as well. So in other words, this is perfect because typically Gemini Sun would be a little bit too loose, constantly changing, maybe too adaptable. But on the other hand, Taurus Moon, although it is exalted, it's a very strong placement and indicates being very grounded emotionally. Taurus Moon does run the risk of being too consistent or too stuck in their ways. So combining the consistency of Taurus Moon with the flexibility of Gemini Sun adds kind of a perfect dynamic here. So in other words, you are therefore firm but flexible, and this generally creates a very strong personality. You may have a keen and detail-oriented sense of humor as well, which you use to ease into new situations. In fact, you may have a tendency of bridging into even dark or outlandish subjects because doing so amuses you. Look to Mercury for more information here. I mean, that's probably true with any chart, but especially since Mercury rules 2 out of your big 3, the Mercury placement is going to definitely tell you a lot about this person. For instance, if you have Mercury in Cancer, this water placement adds some much needed emotional awareness and depth to the chart. It really balances things out here quite a bit. If you have Gemini Mercury, this means you're kind of addicted to information and learning. You're a truth seeker and you're constantly reinventing yourself. If you have Taurus Mercury, this indicates that you're very intuitive but also a bit rigid, which is okay. It just means that you're more focused on building consistency and kind of maintaining things and focusing on harmony. It also means you choose stability and practicality over more adventurous curiosities like the Gemini Mercury would. Wherever your placements are, though, make sure to prioritize your home and family. It might be easy for you to be swept away with issues of career and public life. And that's just the downside of having placements at the top of the chart. I do think it creates objectively a stronger personality since you can handle the outside world. But again, make sure to prioritize those more intimate connections as well. Something I'm sure you're more than capable of. But that's my take on Gemini Sun, Taurus Moon, Virgo Rising. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day.